Noumea, New Caledonia, a territory suspended between France and independence, once again finds itself at the centre of political tension. On August 20th, French Overseas Minister Manuel Valls arrived at the Customary Senate, the assembly of Kanak traditional councils, just days after the Kanak leadership and the socialist Kanak National Liberation Front, the FLNKS, rejected the Bougival Agreement on the territory's future. The Bougival Agreement, reached in Paris on July 12th after days of negotiations, envisioned the creation of a new Caledonian state with its own nationality and sovereign powers, but still under the French constitution. For loyalists, it was a compromise. For many Kanaks, it was a disappointment, accused of leaving their identity undefined and their history unacknowledged. At the Senate building, Valls was welcomed by Eloy Aguetil-Mahegoe, president of the Customary Senate, with traditional rituals marking the importance of this encounter. The French High Commissioner Jacques Billon was first to underline Paris's intentions, insisting that the minister's very presence was proof that Kanak recognition remains intact and respected. But Kanak representatives offered sharper words. Victor Goni, spokesperson for the Senate, warned that Paris must go beyond symbolic gestures, saying that the discussions held in France were only surface level and that deeper clarifications are still urgently needed. For Senate President Eloy Aguetil-Mahegoe, the issue struck at the heart of dignity. He lamented that the Bougival text did not explicitly mention the word Kanak. That omission, he said, was not a minor oversight, but a painful erasure, a silence that makes his people feel excluded from their own history. Words matter, he declared, because they are the foundation of respect and recognition. Minister Valls, however, pushed back forcefully. He argued that the agreement does in fact guarantee the full recognition of Kanak identity and rejected the notion that France would ever sign a deal that denies the indigenous people their place. That makes no sense, he insisted. The debate then turned to the future and to independence itself. The FLNKS has proposed a timeline to move towards sovereignty by April 2027, before the next French presidential elections. Valls dismissed the idea as unrealistic, saying that no one seriously believes such a path is achievable within that period. While stressing his respect for the aspiration of independence, he urged leaders to return to the Bougival framework as the only workable basis for progress. For New Caledonia, this exchange is more than a clash of words. It is a reflection of the deep divide between French officials seeking compromise and Kanak leaders demanding recognition and clarity. As both sides weigh sovereignty against stability, the territory once again stands at a crossroads between Paris's promises, Kanak identity, and the long, uncertain road to self-determination.
Demi-échec de proposer un nouveau cadre de discussion et une nouvelle approche. Incertitude. Maintenant que le FLNKS a rejeté le projet Bougival, pour cela, nous appelons aussi la mise en place d'une assemblée constituante.
By coming to you immediately after getting off the plane, the minister wants to reaffirm that on this path, Kanak recognition is not being questioned. On the contrary, it is being preserved. This cannot and will not be otherwise.
Kanak n'est pas remise en cause, elle est au contraire préservée. Cela ne peut pas et ne pourra pas être autrement.
Your visit might be the continuation of what was discussed in Paris, but I simply say that here we need to go a bit deeper into what was said there, because we feel that there are still many clarifications to be provided. Our great
profondeur de ce qui a été dit là-bas, parce que l'on sent qu'il y a encore beaucoup de choses d'éclairage.
Great sorrow was to see that the drafting of this project does not use the word Kanak. This silence is not a detail. It is experienced as an exclusion of our people, as if we were erased from our own history. Yet words matter. They are the foundation of respect and recognition. That is, in terms of communication, how can one convince the Kanak people if they are not named?
C'est-à-dire en matière de communication, comment convaincre le peuple kanak si vous ne le nommez pas?
It is written, the full recognition of Kanak identity. How can it be said that the word Kanak is not in the Bougival Agreement? It is here. Do you think that the state minister that I am, who defended directly the fact that there is a First People and an Indigenous people, would sign an agreement that denies Kanak identity? That doesn't make any sense. September 24th, 2025, the date on which the proposed agreement to be signed, initiating a transitional period towards full independence by April 2027, before the next French presidential elections, for independence in 2027. Who can seriously think that we can achieve this? It is an alternative that I deeply respect, but no one believes it is possible. It is not possible. We cannot achieve it. We will discuss it later with great serenity with the pro-independence FLNKS delegation, but it is not possible. So if it is not possible, I think we need to further explore Bougival.
Ça, ce n'est pas possible. Je pense qu'il faut approfondir